Here's a quick little video for those of you, whether you're watching on YouTube or my Instagram page. Tomorrow is the Tony Awards, and this has been a season I've personally been very excited about as an actor, and how many different things from this season have kind of started to influence me as a performer, whether it be the actors who are nominated or the shows that are nominated, or just how we are defining artistic visions in different productions, old and new. And so I thought it would be fun to come on here and share my predictions for the 2025 Tony Awards. I've predicted all 26 categories. There are some I'm not confident in at all, but I'm going to share who I'm predicting to win and also who I personally want to win if I was a Tony voter. So, starting in the category of Best Orchestrations, I have written down Buena Vista Social Club. This is also who I personally want to win. There is something so special about bringing a different culture's music to Broadway, and doing so authentically through the orchestrations is something that I personally just find absolutely brilliant, both musically and in a performative sense. In the category of Best Choreography of a Musical, I have also written down Buena Vista Social Club. If I had to choose who I want to win, I would choose Jerry Mitchell for Boop the Musical. But Buena Vista Social Club is once again bringing another culture to Broadway through dance, and it also has the absolutely brilliant contemporary choreographer Justin Peck attached to the choreography, along with his wife Patricia Delgado. And objectively, I think it is more beautiful choreography, but there's a small place in my heart for Jerry Mitchell's absolutely Broadway classic choreo that he uses in Boop the Musical. In the category of Best Direction of a Musical, I have written down Jamie Lloyd for Sunset Boulevard. This is actually the only time I think his vision of using cameras and video in a show has ever really worked, especially with the content of Sunset Boulevard being about film. And I think to re-envision the show in that sense through actual cinematic things is just absolutely brilliant, and it works so well, and it really helps display a new side of acting that's never really been seen on the stage before, with elements of screen acting. So I think that's really special. That is also who I want to win. Best Direction of a Play, who I want to win, and also who I think will win, is Danya Taymor for John Proctor is the Villain. This is such a heavy piece that deals with so many important things that need to be discussed. Not only is it re-examining a very significant play from so many years ago, but it's also doing so that's also in a respectful manner, that's also directed well and handled well, and doesn't feel like it's grasping at straws to try and find things to forward the plot while also criticizing the Crucible, if that makes any sense. Moving on to Best Sound Design of a Musical, I have down Sunset Boulevard because I think it is so incredibly difficult to balance sound from outside of a theater. But if I had to choose somebody to win, I would choose Floyd Collins. Adam Gettle wrote an absolutely amazing vocal line with the yodeling, and I think the way that is balanced in the theater is extraordinary. And I think that if I had to choose, that's by far the coolest piece of sound design I think I've ever heard or seen in a theater. Best Sound Design of a Play, I have written down Stranger Things, The First Shadow. If I had to choose who I want to win, I'm going to choose The Picture of Dorian Gray, because I also think that show is a technical masterpiece that is being overlooked due to the existence of the illusions and crazy things done on stage in Stranger Things, The First Shadow. So I think that's an easy lock-in for this. Best Lighting Design of a Musical, I have Sunset Boulevard, whether it's the use of the projections, lighting those projections on the screen and whatnot, whether it's just the lighting that is used in the scenes that aren't using screens. I think this is by far the most difficult show to light, and it is done so seamlessly. That's also who I personally want to win. Best Lighting Design of a Play, once again, Stranger Things, The First Shadow. To do crazy illusions, you need to have crazy good lighting. That's just how it works. Nothing more to say there. Best Costume Design of a Musical. I think it is going to go to Paul Tazwell for Death Becomes Her. Oh my gosh, these costumes are absolutely stunning. They are huge, they are grand, they are sparkly. They're all the things. They're all the things they need to be. They're absolutely magnificent. If I had to choose what I want to win, once again to Boop the Musical and their costume designer Greg Barnes, specifically for the moment at the beginning of Act 2 where the costumes are 2 different colors, I think is a really unique thing that has never actually been seen on Broadway before. Best costume design of a play, I'm going with The Picture of Dorian Gray. I think to make so many distinct costumes for one single actress is a really impressive thing to do, and on top of that, they are all absolutely gorgeous. If I had to pick who I want to win, I would choose Goodnight and Good Luck, because I just think they're so perfectly in the time period, and they also so perfectly represent each character that they are placed upon. So that's who I would pick as I want to win. Best scenic design of a musical, I'm going maybe Happy Ending. This is the best utilization I've ever seen of a set in musical theater. It is a technical marvel, and that is also who I want to win. Best scenic design of a play, Stranger Things: The First Shadow. They created so many crazy monsters. The set obviously plays into the illusions. This is by far one of the best and most creatively used sets, and it's the same way as maybe Happy Ending, where it's just technically impressive how it all seamlessly blends together. Best original score, oh man, maybe Happy Ending. I mean, objectively, this is the most gorgeous score written this season, and this is the first time we've actually seen true jazz in a Broadway show. I personally have a soft spot for Operation Mincemeat, as you can see by the shirt I'm currently wearing. I absolutely love that album. I prefer it personally to maybe Happy Ending, but objectively, maybe Happy Ending should absolutely win this category. Best book of a musical, I have written down Operation Mincemeat, which is one of the least predicted ones, and I'm definitely taking a risk here. One, I love the show. Two, it is so absolutely difficult to take a show with 5 cast members where the 5 of them are playing over 90 different parts combined, to make an audience understand that easily while also handling quick-paced Monty Python-style comedy is an incredible feat. And this is comprised of David Cumming, Felix Hagen, Natasha Hudson, Zoe Roberts, 3 of which are actors in the show, so to be able to recognize them also would be a huge win for the show, in my opinion. Best performance by an actress in a featured role in a musical, Natalie Venetia Belcon. This is who I want to win. It's just amazing, and she's been doing Broadway for a while and is yet to get anything. So I think this is her Tony Award win right here. Best performance by an actor in a featured role in a musical. Oh, my king, Jack Malone, has to take this. Dear Bill is the Broadway song of this entire season. It is one of the most gorgeous ballads I've ever heard, and Jack Malone handles it with such tenderness and such grace and such realness in every single lyric that it would be stupid if it didn't go to him. Best performance by an actress in a featured role in a play, I kind of took a guess here. I'm going with Jessica Hecht, because she's the only actress or actor nominated for Eureka Day, and she's a standout from what I've heard. So that felt like an easy one. Best performance by an actor in a featured role in a play, I am going with my personal favorite out of these 5, which is Francis Ju in Yellowface. I watched the PBS Great Performances recently, and he is delivering such a heartfelt performance that is also so comedically brilliant in the wonderful farce written by David Henry Hwang. He brings the heart of the production, and being kind of the emotional payoff at the end for the protagonist, DHH, is it's just a really, really well-rounded portrayal. Best performance by an actress in a leading role in a musical. Oh man, I've gone back and forth so many times on who I want to win this, but I'm going to settle on Nicole Scherzinger for Sunset Boulevard. I think this is a monumental performance. It's different from Audra. We know Audra can perform. We knew that Audra was going to be great as Rose and Gypsy. But if I had to pick who I want to win, Jasmine Amy Rogers for Boop the Musical. Oh my gosh, straight out the gate, she's giving the performance of a lifetime, and she can only grow from here, and so she has a Tony with her name on it, I'd say in the next 5 years. Best performance by an actor in a leading role in a musical. This could change before tomorrow, but currently I am saying that it will go to Darren Criss for maybe Happy Ending. To play a robot with such heart and such just the sweetness about it it's special, I think. If I had to choose who I want to win, Jeremy Jordan for Floyd Collins. I mean, I think that role is difficult on its own. He's sitting in a chair portraying such difficult themes, and it's all it is it's him. And I'm also just, Jeremy Jordan is my biggest inspiration ever. So, best performance by an actress in a leading role in a play, Sarah Snook, The Picture of Dorian Gray, 26 different roles. Give it to her, please. Come on. Best performance by an actor in a leading role in a play, Cola Scola for Oh Mary. Oh man, this is to be able to write a role like that and then to perform it with just as much skill, in such a wonderful comedy that came out this year. I think he's the only option for this award. Best revival of a musical, I think it's Sunset Boulevard. It's the only one that got a nod for direction, and I think to revitalize such a grand show and make it not grand and it still function on the same level, I just think is enough to propel this show to victory. Best revival of a play, Eureka Day. I have thoughts about this being in revival to begin with, but the direction is absolutely wonderful. It is so great at balancing political commentary with comedy to create this really wonderful satire that is all the more relevant since COVID and whatnot. I think Eureka Day is the easy choice. Best play, Oh Mary by Cola Scola. I mean, you don't see comedies win best play very often at all, really, and I think to give it to a comedy, and not like a dramatic comedy, but a strict, true to itself comedy that just absolutely knocks it out of the park, and also that just has such a huge dedicated fan base. I personally think this is the only option. However, would not be surprised if there was a surprising upset with John Proctor as the villain taking best play. And as for best musical, maybe Happy Ending. You cannot help but love the show. It's just so sweet, it's so real, while balancing elements that shouldn't be real. It's just amazing. However, if I had to choose who I want to win best musical, as says by the shirt, Operation Mincemeat is my choice. But this has been an amazing year to watch as a young artist, and to see the artistry that takes the stage this year has been absolutely incredible to see. So I'm really interested to see the results for tomorrow night, but those are my predictions for the 2025 Tony Awards.